Lesson 2 in Module 1 is about the fundamentals for a strong physique and a foundation for a healthy routine. Those that know how to get the most results for life know how to give their best effort. They know how to make the process easier rather than make the progress come faster. And they know the truth behind what feels hard in order to make effort feel fun. Let's dive in. Alright, lesson 2, we are diving in here. So we are talking about the fundamentals for a great physique and for your health for life. Not just to get the best physique as fast as possible and to be as healthy as fast as possible. So the question we are going to consider is, what routine could you do for life? And I want to talk about how transformation does not come from one workout or 1 week alone. It takes time to do this. It's important to think about this question. What could you do for life rather than just what's something you can try and do to get progress as fast as possible? What this graph is saying is that for the entire training volume you do, the amount of reps, the amount of sets, the work, the exercises you do in the gym, how much does that cause your muscles to grow? This graph shows how more work does not mean more results like you may think. Building muscle does not happen faster when you work more. Otherwise, this line right here, it would be straight diagonal from bottom left corner to top right corner. This line shows a law of diminishing returns. And so building muscle actually has a sweet spot where you get the most results for your work. Do more than this and you get, very little results for all that extra effort that you spent. And originally the hypothesis was that you do more work and you will get directly more results. While there will be outliers, what they found was that there is a kind of diminishing return to how much work you put in. And so if we were to try and get the most results as fast as possible, we'd do something like a 6-day routine. We'd be doing as much work as possible and having one good rest day to allow ourselves to recover. If we were to do that for 1 year, we would have 312 workouts. That's if you didn't miss any workouts. Then ideally, one realistic number that we can put is say 12 pounds of muscle in 1 year, 1 pound of muscle per month. That's pretty realistic throughout your lifetime of building muscle and maintaining muscle. It's going to be more when you're just beginning, but for those that are trained, it's pretty realistic to say 1 pound of muscle per month. Well, after 3 months, you get 3 pounds of muscle. That makes sense, right? Well, according to this graph, it doesn't always say that the more work equals more results. And so if this were to be mapped out as the most optimal routine, where we just said we're doing 6 workouts a week, 312 workouts a year. Well, if we did half that work right here, so if this is at 30, that would get us right there, 1 pound of muscle per month. If we did 15, that still gets us about 80% of the results as 30 does. So what if we did 3-day routines? What if we did half the work, 50% less work? We did 156 less workouts that entire year, yet we're still getting 80% of the results. So the idea is, what is the most results we can get with the least work to put in? Because at the end of the day, muscle is a process that takes time. We can't just force this process to happen faster and faster and faster unless we're using something like steroids. Now, if you ever get the motivation and you really want to try and get results as fast as possible, then go for a 6-day per week routine in the gym. But as a foundation, something to always come back to when you don't have that motivation, a 3-day routine will still get us great results for all the effort we're giving it. I'll have more details of this in individual workout plans, but a 3-day routine also works really well to just double it and do that twice in 1 week for a 6-day routine. But for a foundation for your health routine and for your physique, is the idea, what is something you could always come back to that when you put in effort, you're getting results for it, and it's something you can stick to for a long term, not just short term. And although it is less work, we're doing 50% less work, we can also be confident that if we are following the other fundamentals, I'll go over it in this lesson, you're still going to get amazing results. And if we work out the math again, if we did just 3-day routine for that entire year, we had 156 workouts that year. We built 9.6 pounds of muscle. And after 3 months, we built 2.4 pounds of muscle. After 3 months of that 6-day routine, it's 3 pounds of muscle. If you were to be weighing yourself on a scale and you see 3 pounds increase versus a 2.4 pound increase, you wouldn't even notice that on a scale because your body weight fluctuates. So really, it's the idea of what could you stick for the long term so that way you can make those consistent gains rather than always having to rely on working harder and harder and harder. If you want to check out this full study, I'll have it in the text down below. This leads us into this common dysfunctional belief that, oh, I can outwork nature. I will force results to come faster. This is a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's not uncommon for many people going to the gym to think this. If I work harder and harder and harder, I should be getting more and more and more results. That's not how nature works. And the sooner that you can accept that, the sooner that your expectations can match reality. When our expectations do not match reality, that's when we get demotivated. And so the healthy way to reframe this is that building muscle is a process that takes time. I will find a way to make this process easier so that way I can stick to it for longer, rather than trying to make the progress come faster. Sticking to a process for longer is better than making the progress come faster. I really need to hammer this idea home, so let's reframe this into working a job. If you got a job and the salary was $100,000, but you worked 6 days a week, how would that compare to another job you worked only 3 days of work, but you got paid $80,000? I think there would be some that would take option A because all they worry about is making money. But for most of us that we want to have a balance in life, we want to have other things going on in our life, we take option B every time because we realize how much energy we're putting into our work right there. We're still getting a lot of value out of that. The kind of person with option A, again, is the kind of person that only cares about one thing, making money. So putting this into perspective with your health and with your physique, option A, that's a bodybuilder. They're taking steroids even to the point of trying to get as much progress as fast as possible. If you want to have a still really awesome physique, but still have balance in your life, and you're still getting a lot of results for the smaller amount of effort you're putting in, you take option B every time.